Hi, this is Sally Morgan, craniosacral therapist, physical therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan, he's a Corgi, and we're here as we approach episode 300 of Conversations with a Corgi. And today I want to talk, even though it's raining here, I want to talk a little bit about fleas and ticks. And I think we might be having a few episodes about fleas and ticks because it's the time of year when we start to get really concerned for them and our pets in many parts of the country. And in the South, I'm sure there's already been multiple tick and flea sightings. So up here in New England, we are just getting ticks. You know, everybody I know has had at least 2 or 3 on their dogs in the last month. But, you know, sometimes you go out and they're just everywhere. So what do I do that's natural as a way to repel fleas and ticks? One of the best products I know is something called Cedarside. It comes in this big spray bottle now. It used to come in a little spray bottle. And it's called Cedarside, which is spelled cedar, C-E-D-A-R-C-I-D-E. Like insecticide, Cedarside. Biting insect spray for people, pets, and premises. This one comes in a quart. And it says that it's good for fleas, ticks, mites, gnats, chiggers, flies, mosquitoes, bugs, all kinds of stuff. And what it is a mostly cedar essential oil diluted into a spray. Now, this stuff works better than anything. The only side effect is that your dog will smell a little bit like a cedar hamster cage. But that's fine with me. I don't mind the cedar smell until the middle of the summer when I get a little tired of it. But it works really well, better than anything. The downside with all of these organic and natural methods is that you do need to apply frequently. Like when I take Tristan out for his walk in the afternoon, we have a daily application of these things. Today it's pouring rain. The only one of the ones I have here that I think would work well on a rainy day would be the Cedarside. I have a little tiny side yard, as you know, it's like, I don't know, 10 by 15 feet. I can spray around the perimeter of that with the Cedarside and kill any ticks that are in that small area. When it gets really bad here with ticks at certain times of the year, I don't let Tristan out into the big yard. Although one of the other things I'm doing is the big yard has a fence around it. And if you keep that mowed short and then mow about a 4-foot barrier between the woods and fields and that fence, that will keep a lot of the ticks out of the yard. In addition to which, wild turkeys, guinea fowl, chickens, a lot of those things eat ticks. If you have the availability to get some of those guys in your yard, that would be great. And I wish I could transport those chickens down the road up here for a couple of days because I would love to have them just kind of clean up what's in my yard. And they are really efficient bug eaters. So, Cedarside, my #1 favorite pick for repelling fleas and ticks from your pets in the summer. It's safe to use on cats, dogs, horses, and yourself. Of course, you don't want to spray the animal in the face. I usually spray it on Tristan's brush and brush it on him, and then flip him over and spray his bottom half and his legs pretty well, and his neck, right where my hand is here. It's where the ticks like to go. So I try to use it for that. You got to be careful with spraying it on a horse and which one you're purchasing. You don't want to buy the yard one and spray it on a horse. They come in different concentrations. So the yard one's for the yard, the dog and pet one is for the dogs and pets, and the horse one's for the horses, and I think it's the same as the dog and pet one. My sister mistakenly sprayed the yard one on her horse, and he had a tremendous kind of skin burn and rash from it. He is a delicate, well, he was because he's passed on now. He's a delicate little chestnut thoroughbred cross. So, you know, it's good to spray on your horse's legs, though. Certainly with my Morgan, he had really hairy lower legs, and the ticks were just so bad, so bad where we were, that I ended up spraying this on his feet, and I never had a problem, like from a little above his knees down. It worked great. Also to spray it on your fly mask and then put that on your horse. Cedarside, I can't recommend it enough. It's been a lifesaver for me and really changed my relationship with the fleas and ticks in the environment. Even on the Cape where it's super fleazy in the summer, the Cedarside works really well. At this point, because Tristan seems to be way more appealing to fleas than some of my other dogs, I do put Advantage 2 on him, the topical, just for the 2 months that I'm on the Cape in the summer, just to keep him from getting fleas. I mean, they just are so numerous there. None of us want to deal with the whole defleeing of your house. So Cedarside, great for fleas, great for ticks. I would recommend it in the south with all the other critters you have down there. And you can spray it on your lower legs when you're going out for a walk in a field in the summer. I usually avoid going in the woods in the summer. But certainly you could spray it on your pants and things, and it is safe and wonderful. Now my sister, drjudymorgan.com, has on her website a whole lot of different sprays and things for organic and natural flea and tick repellent. So what this one is from a company called Kinkind. These are really great products this company makes. They make a whole variety of things, which my sister has all on her website. This one is essential oil and witch hazel, and the oils are neem and eucalyptus. Neem is really good at repelling things, and I had a client who believed that it made her dog's coat a lot nicer too. And this is a different smell than the cedar. I think it works fairly well. I wouldn't say it's quite as good as the cedar. Nothing's as good as the cedar, but this is pretty good stuff. So I use this quite a bit in the summer when I get sick of the cedar. And then I also make my own, which is very similar to the mix of the Kinkind. It is witch hazel, geranium, cedar, and a little bit of peppermint. It's like 10 drops of the geranium and the cedar and 1 drop of peppermint mixed with witch hazel and water, and it fills about half of this bottle when I'm done making it. And that's a little bit milder smelling than those two. I will sometimes use that as well because I personally get tired of the smell of cedar. It just is so overwhelming. But I don't know how that affects our dogs and cats too. I think they get tired of it as well. But these two, the one I make and the one from Kinkind, they're very similar. I now have eucalyptus oil and could mix it in with the geranium and the cedar. And I met a friend who uses rose geranium oil pretty much only on her dog. And she's down in the Maryland area where there's a ton of ticks. And I could not find rose geranium online, which is why I just used geranium. The rose geranium smells a lot better. I really like it. I'm definitely going to ask her to get me some rose geranium before I see her in June because I love how it smells and it does really repel ticks well. So those are some suggestions on some natural ways that you can avoid using a lot of these products, topical and oral, that are so on TV commercials now trying to get us to use their products. I think tomorrow I would really like to talk about some of the oral medications and the tremendous, tremendous problems we're having with them. So many small dogs in particular are getting very sick. Some of them have died from using these oral products. So I think we'll get into that tomorrow. But I wanted to be on the positive note today on this Great New England Day and tell you about the things that do work that I have used. Cedarside, the Kinkind flea and tick that my sister has on her website, and then the one I make myself, which is witch hazel and essential oils of geranium, cedar, and a little bit of peppermint, and also you can put eucalyptus in there. So that's our episode of Conversations with a Corgi today. Try some of these natural products. They work really well. The problem is that you have to reapply every time you're about to take your dog out for a walk. So I'm reapplying every afternoon at 2 o'clock when I take him for his walk, but I don't reapply it the next morning. It usually is good all the way until the next 24-hour period. If I let him out in the morning and the grass is long and wet, I will give him a little spritz on his legs before he goes out, especially if he's going to be spending more than a quick tinkle at the base of the stairs. So try these products. You can get some yourself. I have the Young Living oils on my website if you would like to purchase some oils from me to make your own. But like I said, if you live in the South and you are not messing around with bugs, get the Cedarside. That stuff is a miracle. And it's frankly probably saved me from ever getting Lyme disease and ticks on me. I've used that a lot when I do gardening. I just can't say enough good things about it. So thanks for joining us today for this episode of Conversations with the Corgi, where we have looked at some all-natural flea and tick repellent that you can use with your dogs, your cats, your horses, yourself. And we will be back tomorrow for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day. Danny, it's finally warm where you live. I can't believe it. South Dakota. It's a cold place. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.